What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 71 of the Get It Gear podcast, bringing you the hot takes, latest stories, and spicy picks on New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, national, and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, Grassani, joined starring on Megan Cunningham, Nick Reich, Marcellus Murdock, and our special guest, Benjamin Petruk. You can listen to the podcast right now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, sure to follow us on Twitter at GetYourGameOnP. And with all that said, it's time to get your game on. Yo, guys, how's everyone doing?
I'm good.
All right. Let's not beat around the bush here. We got a very special guest joining us. Just for context here, back during my time at Marcus Day, I was hosting my own radio show there called Fire and Thunder Sports, and this guy made several appearances on the show. He was basically one of my co-hosts during my time at WMSC. He's currently right now the associate producer at WMSC. Am I correct?
The associate programmer, but
associate programmer. Yeah. Sorry, but we're so happy to welcome to the show Benjamin Petruk. Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I had a rough week, but we'll get into why soon.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you want to mention why right now, or do you want to save it for later?
Oh man, so it all started last weekend, where we got the technically false media where Brady was said to have retired, and then of course a couple days later it came out that he did. Yeah, that's my childhood hero right there, walking off the field. It was really upsetting.
Yeah, but that's ultimately why we are ultimately decided to bring you on, because it shows you Ben here is a big time Patriots fan. So obviously you must have had a lot of memories. I'm sure Tom Brady impacted you in a way that obviously Tom Brady impacted all of our football lives in some way, shape, or form, some more than others. So I'm sure you, Ben, as a Patriots fan, he really left a big impact on you. So if you want to talk about that for a second, then go ahead.
Well, Tom Brady, what he did for me as a kid was it was one of those moments where you saw this guy who was, of course, he was 6th round draft pick, 199, 4th string quarterback, and then he won himself the 2nd string, and of course got his big break. Unfortunately, to the unfortunate Drew Bledsoe injury, that was horrifying, but it did pave the way for Brady. And that story of how you just keep fighting, you'll get your chance and you never give it back kind of mentality stuck with me for my entire life. And it still does today, where it's just no matter what you do, you give 100%, you do not give up, and you never let anyone else tell you can't do it. And that's what he impacted on me on and off a football field that I play. I still use that in radio. I prove people wrong as much as he tries to in football. And that mentality stuck with me my whole life. And of course, watching him was just always a joy because he was so fun to watch, and the way he played and the way he won, it was just so fun to watch. But the way he impacted me mentally when it comes to his mindset rubbing off on all of his fans was really inspiring.
That's the thing. Was for the average football fan, it's easy to look at Tom Brady and all his success and thinking, oh my God, this guy must have had the most hype of any kid coming out of college. It's easy to think he was this hot shot prospect. He was a 6th round pick. He was picked 198th overall, I think.
199.
199. So I was one off. So 198 guys were picked before him. So it just proves that you cannot be the most out prospect despite people saying and people telling him that we'd rather, and despite the Apple telling him we'd rather have 198 guys over you, he became not only without doubt the greatest quarterback of all time, but arguably the greatest football player of all time. So it just proves, like you said, Ben, that don't let anyone tell you that you can't do anything.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. It's just what he impacted us as Patriots fans, and if some Bucks fans out there, just to never give up and to never stop trying, and that the mental discipline is so imperative to being successful. It's you're on a constant battle of fighting yourself, and you need to prove yourself to keep going. And it was amazing.
Yeah, Alex, you had your hand raised. I'm sure you wanted to ask something to Ben.
Yeah. So Ben, what got you into being a Patriots fan?
So I was born in Portland, Maine, and this is not true, but I like to say it like this. Basically, the doctor held me out a window and said, "Patriots fan," to my mom, and my mom said, "Yeah." That's basically it. But no, I grew up in Maine, and my mom's favorite football team is Patriots. But my mom was born in New Jersey, so she was a Yankee fan. So she moved up to Maine and started watching football. So yeah, I'm a Yankees Patriots fan, and there is a reason. Everyone thinks I'm a bandwagon, but there's the actual reason.
Yeah, like the first thing someone thinks, "Oh, you're a Yankees fan," the first thing that someone comes to mind is bandwagon. That's the first thing that comes to people's minds. But I'm glad that you could say, "Hey, that you had that reason." You said like people don't pull the bandwagon card on you, Ben.
Oh yeah, it was my first day in the sports team for the radio station, and Anthony Rios heard that I was a Patriots fan and a Yankees fan. He instantly went straight to the bandwagon charges, and then he, after a couple hot take sports episodes and Fire and Thunder sports episodes, Anthony said, "You know what? I got to give you credit. You're the most realist sports fan for having such great teams I've ever seen." And I was like, "Thanks, my guy." So yeah, I had to prove myself with the two teams I had.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, what was your what was your initial reaction when you found out that was official that Tom Brady was going to be retiring?
Well, the first thing I did was text my mom, who I watch Patriots games with every Sunday. And I texted my mom, and we both she was like, "I saw it coming." And I was like, "You know what? Yeah." After the first report, you like prepared yourself. So the actual retirement was crazy. I just woke up, and I woke up, turned around, and I saw 2 minutes ago Tom Brady posted on Instagram, and like my notification told me to go look at it. So I was like, "All right." So that was the post. So it was insane to get that. I texted my mom instantly, and we were both going, "No, it's okay," and we're like, it stinks, but the next straight thing we did is Gronk retiring. We instantly went into that. We're like, is Gronk going? But yeah, that was basically my initial reaction. Was this is all those years, but you knew it had to end eventually. I mean, I knew it was going to end within a couple years, but it was still like it still stings.
Obviously Ben, when we talk about Tom Brady, it's just that obviously he had the biggest impact on a bigger impact on you as a Patriots fan. But I said he's the type of figure in football where he affects all football fans no matter what team you prefer. I mean, I should know I'm a Giants fan, and those two Super Bowls, I could go on and on about them, but it just shows how the impact like Tom Brady has football fans. I mean, Alex here, he's an Eagles fan, so Tom Brady definitely had an impact on him. And our friend Marcellus here is a Jets fan, so and obviously like with them being the same division, so it just shows like that whether you like Tom Brady or you dislike him, like the game of football won't be the same without him. Like that's not for debate.
I believe that. I can't like Tom Brady. Like Adam was saying, since I'm a Jet fan, he's kicked our butt for years now, but you got to respect him. 7 championships, really, he's one of the best to ever do it. And like you said, we're probably never gonna get a player on his caliber anytime soon. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, and at least in our lifetime, we'll never see another Tom Brady. I think we'll see his records when it comes to passing yards and touchdowns and all that. I see that breaking, but I don't see 7 championships. I don't see division like winning. I don't see anybody breaking the winning records type thing.
I agree. I mean, even someone like Patrick Mahomes, who we all agree is a stud, like I don't see Patrick. I mean, I do think Patrick Mahomes will find a lot of success in the NFL. I think he'll go down as one of the all-time greats. I can't see him touching Brady. At least not the 7 Super Bowls. Maybe he'll be able to touch like the touchdowns, the passing yards, but in
He'll
terms of
always
like
be
just
held on his
winning, I
back.
can't see Patrick Mahomes touching that.
It'll always be held on his back that he lost the head-to-head matchup against him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Before Burrow, he had 2 playoff losses, and they were both to Brady.
Exactly. Okay, but going through the whole retirement process with Tom Brady, I was just there's was one of the things I was thinking when it was first reported by Adam Schefter and that we thought Tom Brady was retiring, and then I believe TB12 like his company said that it's not true. Part of me feels that Tom Brady would be the kind of guy that if let's say he was leaning towards retiring and then Adam Schefter to report that, part of me thinks that Tom Brady would be like the kind of guy to just play one more season out of spite.
That is a very Tom Brady-esque but if that would mean, I think he would play another season if someone said he couldn't play anymore. They just thought he was retiring because someone tipped them. That wasn't like challenging him. I would say if someone said you can't play another season, that would get his juices going.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, the man's 44 though. I mean, he really doesn't have to really prove anything more.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
You know, he doesn't really need to keep sacrificing his body. I mean, he's not getting any younger. That was probably one of the factors that played into, because he was talking a lot about how it was a family decision and all this health. Health was one of the factors determining. So
the funny part is he said that he'd retire when he sucks. Is his actual quote? I'll retire when I suck. And the best part about it is he has a potential to win MVP this year. So I guess it took too long. So we just gave up.
Who you guys think could be the next? I mean, there's not going to ever be another one, but who you think could be a runner-up maybe?
For
Brady.
For Brady,
times.
For Brady, who could be a runner-up right now in the league? I mean, obviously there's not going to be another Brady, but who can you guys see maybe coming a little closer? I don't want to say a lot close because championships, nobody's going to pass that. But,
the easy answer to that is Patrick Mahomes.
You think Mahomes?
He's the easy answer.
You're a bandwagon to say Burrow.
I'm about to say you got to put Burrow in there. I feel like.
How about Aaron Rodgers?
I feel like the ship has kind of sailed on Aaron Rodgers, though.
I mean, stats wise, yeah. But I mean,
Aaron Rodgers that
after
the guy just hasn't gotten it done enough in the postseason. He just hasn't
done enough in the postseason.
After that loss to the 49ers, I'm like, that's it. Like, I'm sorry. With all his eyes, Aaron Rodgers just come up short in the postseason. Aside from that one time where he won the Super Bowl, like Aaron Rodgers is obviously gonna go down as an all-time great, but comparison to Brady, nah, not close.
I think the problem with him is Peyton has better regular season stats than Rodgers, and Brady has a better postseason. So he'll never be better. He was the best touchdown interception guy, but that was really about it. He was a really efficient quarterback who is the best. Like he was the best at all facets of being a quarterback on everything but team. He was the best at playing the position if it only mattered if he played well, kind of thing. He never had the team aspect to him. And it's
I've heard people say, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is he's more talented than Brady." Where if you want to boil it down to pure physical ability, then yeah, I agree. But Brady just has the intangibles that Aaron Rodgers doesn't. Brady has Brady's a better leader. He's better under pressure. He's more clutch. Brady has all that. And the one thing that another thing too is that we don't take into account when it comes to discussing Brady's greatness is that it's easy to think, if Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning or whoever you want there was in Bill Belichick's system, that they would have more success, as that Brady was a product of Bill Belichick's system. my counter argument to that, Ben, is I don't know if you agree with this, that yes, like you could argue that other quarterbacks like armed wise are better than Brady, but in terms of seeing the game and understanding the game, no one's better. Tom Brady sees the game in a way that none other quarterback has ever, and likely for a very long time will ever see the game or understand the game.
I don't think that it's entirely true. I think Peyton sees the game just as good as Brady. But the difference is Brady was so team-oriented and winning-oriented that it led to such better decision-making. He had no selfish bone in his body. That's what separated him. And it's so hard to do, and that we won't see again. Is you could see a selfish little bone in everybody's body. Like someone wants to break the record. Brady doesn't care about breaking the record. I mean, he'd be happy after he does it, but he didn't care. He would not break the record in order to win. So that's the kind of thing that he had no one else. Peyton saw the game amazing. Like probably Peyton sees the defense is better than anyone. Brady sees the big picture in the team-oriented way. And that's what separated them. And the never giving up aspect. And it's never like he did not ever quit. The never quitting and the always team first aspect is something that was so pivotal to his success, and what made him so good in the Belichick system is sacrificing. That's what makes every player that's iconic in the Belichick system good, is sacrificing your own personal stats. So do I think he sees the game at the number one level? Yes, but I also see Peyton there. But I see this guy being the most team-oriented player we've ever seen.
Exactly.
Ever.
He also makes players around him better, too. Some of these no-name guys, Chris Hogan, for example. I mean, some of these guys, look at what he did with Edelman, too, you know?
Exactly. Team-oriented. It was insane.
Yeah, I agree.
And I also like to say, when it comes to the Super Bowls, first of the 6 that the Patriots got, I think at the 7th one was just the team was stacked. The team was stacked. But the first 6, I think the first one deserves to be credit to Belichick. Second one's Brady. Third one is more Belichick. Fourth one is Brady. Fifth one is Brady. And the 6th one is Belichick. I think that's the one that deserves more credit. So I think Brady and Belichick split the 3 each.
Yeah, I feel like what also, I don't know if you agree with this, Ben, but there's a lot of discussion of why Tom Brady chose now to call it quits. Like, I think one reason, I'll get to that, the other reason, the football stuff, but I feel like one big reason is that I definitely think he wants to spend a lot more time with Giselle and his family. Because we all know, like, how being an NFL quarterback and having as much success as Brady does, it takes a lot of time. It probably takes a lot, and it takes a lot of time away for his family too. So I'm sure Brady's thinking that he wants. So I'm sure that aspect played into it too, and he wants to like spend more time with his family.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah.
Another thing too is that there's this sort of discussion of father time when like Tom Brady's gonna, in the Max Kellerman terms, fall off a cliff. Like, but in terms of that, aspect, when you look at the Buccaneers, like, I believe they're having some salary cap issues, and I think going forward that they're gonna like start to like regress a little. So maybe that plays a role, like the situation of the Buccaneers.
Oh yeah, I think the Buccaneers are in trouble now. I have no clue what direction they plan on going. Do they start Blaine Gabbert now?
Definitely, yeah.
No, I think the Buccaneers should go for Jimmy G.
That wouldn't be the worst situation in the world.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
Or maybe do you think the Buccaneers could potentially make a play for Russell Wilson?
No, I don't think. I think there's too many teams that have in play, and let alone I don't think he's leaving.
Yeah. I think the Russell Wilson situation is kind of like similar to the Aaron Rodgers situation, where we hear all the time, "Oh, they're gonna leave. They're gonna ask out," and they never do.
Yeah, and I think his is worse. I think he's stuck there. But I agree. I think it's just like, "Oh, will he? Won't they?" And then he just stays.
Yeah, it's just one of those stories where it just keeps on up and up and up over and over again, and it just never materializes.
Yeah, it's a little annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. But I mean, Alex, Marcellus, did you have any other topics you want to bring up with Ben?
Um, what was your favorite moment in person of watching Brady?
My favorite moment watching Brady was probably the game against New Orleans in 2013 when we got that 1 minute and 30-second drive to like really, it was back when they lost 2 Super Bowls to the Giants. The Patriots started to look like they were deteriorating. And then
I remember
Brady
that game.
showed, I think it was the beginning of the second dynasty. That's what I think of that game. There was 1 minute 30. They came back, and it was in 1 minute. And Kembrell Tompkins, who we would never hear from again, caught the touchdown to win the game. And I feel like that was the seeds of the beginning of the second dynasty because you saw a spark in that team. And then they got Darrelle Revis, and they drafted well. They got the 2014 Patriots that would go on to win the Super Bowl. So I think that 2013 win was the coolest because it was the first oh, he's like that kind of comeback that we've seen because he was a comeback player, but that was the first of like the amazing comebacks that we'd see. And then of course it translates to Super Bowl 40, 49, 51, and the AFC Championship towards Super Bowl 52.
Oh, definitely. Another one that I think if we were to pick out one like game that defines Brady's greatest, like his all-time greatest moment, like I feel like we gotta go to I believe was a Super Bowl 51 and the 28-3 comeback. I think that one is gonna live like that was gonna go down like football history.
28-3 comeback is the best moment. I'll say that.
Yeah. I think objectively, like that's I remember like I was texting I was texting like one of my friends who like hates the Patriots, and he's like because like it was during a time when Spygate of Flakegate was still in the back of our minds, and they were saying let's see them cheat their way out of this one, and look what happened.
Yeah, they won. Yeah.
I mean, but you guys have any other final thoughts for any other questions for Ben?
No.
Ben, did you have anything else you want to say about Brady or anything else football or sports related?
He's the GOAT, and I love him. And I'm so super stoked to see what he does in retirement. But I'm super stoked. Go Bengals on the Super Bowl. I'm rooting for the Bengals.
I'm kind of. I mean, on one hand, I'm kind of like rooting for the Rams because of OBJ, and another army is rooting for other Bengals because I am a Joe Burrow fan.
See, I think Joe Burrow is the best. But I want to thank you, Adam, for having me on. I love you.
Ben,
I love your show.
We thank you so much for coming on. Definitely say hi to Jack and Alex and all the guys there at WMSC free. Say hi to Poland. Say hi to everyone there for me. And how about Kelly Whiteside officially joined the committee?
Yeah, so amazing. Everyone in the school, she's been getting congratulations left and right. So amazing. It's such an incredible feat. She gets to choose who goes to the college football playoffs now, and she deserves it. She's so hardworking and she's so smart. So 100%.
No doubt. She's in terms of professors. I remember I tweeted in terms of like people who've like helped, like I'm sure you and people at Mark State and like sports media, like she's near the top of the list.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
Yeah, but by the way, thank you for coming out. If you want to take a chance, you want to tell all listeners where they can find you?
Well, if you want to be able to find me, you can go to the WMSC.com and you can go check out the radio station there. That's where I work. And of course, I program and I schedule all the shows so you can hear all of our amazing content. Or you can visit me personally at Benjamin Petruk on Instagram. And that's basically it. I'm pretty hard to find, Adam, but thank you so much. I love you. I love
Take care,
everything you
man.
do. Keep going, my guy. You guys have fun. I love you, Adam.
Take care, Ben. So yeah, that was Benjamin Petruk, big time Patriots fan. It was great to hear his perspective on like Tom Brady's career and his retirement. But yeah, it was just such a great time at Mock State. Before we get to Mike's hot take, we do have one segment that I almost forgot to bring this up because it's been getting because it's slowly snuck up on us. Alex, you know what that segment is?
Yep.
What is it?
Winter Olympics by Alex Rich.
That's right. The Winter Olympics are, I believe the opening ceremony is
6:30 a.m. tomorrow.
6:30 a.m. Friday. So it'll probably have been done by the time this episode goes up. So
Yep.
It's time for the very first ever Alex's Winter Olympics storylines. Alex, take it away.
So the U.S. Women's hockey team had their first event against Finland this morning. And I don't know if you heard, but there was a serious injury that occurred for USA.
I don't think I heard
it. This girl got off from a stretcher, and I'm not sure what exactly was wrong with her leg, but it looked like it might have been dislocated, and she couldn't put weight on it, so the doctors had to bring out the stretcher for her, and I'm not sure how long she will be out for, but it looks pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's gonna be I mean, obviously, like injuries happen in sports all the time. You never want to see it, but yeah. That definitely sucks. Hopefully, we won't see too many of those this Olympics.
Yep. So
I know there was one really bad one. Like I forget which year it was. What was it? 2010 in Vancouver.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely not fun. Definitely like not what you want. So, but obviously we're definitely not what you want. But continue, Alex.
Okay. So 1 second. Okay. So the opening ceremony is in the morning, and then the Olympics preview show is from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then there's a bunch of events taking place later. The schedule seems to be hard to follow because it's like kind of all over the place. But there's a women's snowboard competition, which is taking place at 11:50 p.m. from until 1:30 a.m. And Canada will be playing Finland in a women's ice hockey matchup at 1:50 a.m. And for Saturday, let's see, there is men's freestyle skiing, which is a qualifying, and let's see, there's a mixed relay final, which is a short track from midnight to 1:30 a.m. And on the USA Network from 2:45 a.m. to 7:55 a.m., there is men's freestyle skiing, women's speed skating, women's cross-country skiing, men's ski jumping, women's ice hockey, which is the USA team that will go up against the Russian Olympic Committee. And then there's a bunch of other matchups, which is mixed for track and field, and for Sunday before our next episode, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., there was men's speed skating, men's cross-country skiing, men's ski jumping, figure skating, free dance, women's free skate. This is all happening from 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. So it will be taking place right in the middle of our next episode. So I'll definitely keep you updated on as much as possible. And it looks like everything is going to be on the USA Network, it looks like. You can also watch it on NBCOlympics.com and on Peacock if you have an account. And there's going to be, I don't want to go overboard with the first events, but this weekend seems to be very busy from tomorrow morning to Sunday night, and I'm looking forward to my next segment of the Winter Olympics by Alex Rich.
Thank you so much, Alex. I mean, I've been looking forward to the Winter Olympics like for a long. I was always looking forward to it, but it just came up so fast. I'm like, oh my god, the Olympics are starting. I mean, the opening ceremony is gonna be at 6:30 tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna have to get up early in order to watch that. I mean, even now, I'll probably. I mean, I could always DVR it, so I'll probably find a way to watch most of it. But obviously, like for those you don't know, I am a kind of like a simp for the Olympics. It's just so much fun, like where you just I feel like the fact, Alex, that we're getting the Winter Olympics like just a couple months after we just got the Summer Olympics is like it's one of the few positives that COVID-19 that the pandemic has given us. It's one of the few positives.
Yeah, and also I forgot to add, I read something that the opening ceremony is not going to last 3 hours, like what they did last summer with the Summer Olympics. Yeah. So I think it's going to be shrunk to an hour and a half, I think, and it's just going to be very interesting to see everything happen in that short amount of time.
Definitely, one part that is kind of like sucky though is the fact that the NHL's not going when they were supposed to. Obviously, the pandemic plays a role in that, but I feel like I don't know if this is gonna be a hot take. I feel like Olympic hockey is way better than like Olympic basketball because in Olympic basketball, like who's gonna win every single year? Team USA. With hockey and like the Olympics, there's way more parity. I mean, you could say that Team Canada is usually the favorite, but we've seen like Team USA win the gold before. We've seen like Russia win the gold before. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that aspect of it definitely like kind of stinks. But I'm still gonna have like I'm still gonna have a ton of fun. Like what I'm sure it's gonna be a very, very great Winter Olympics, and we're definitely looking forward to it. So Alex, we thank you for your segment, and we cannot wait for future Alex Winter Olympics storylines. All right, guys, we gotta move on. He's joining us from a Barr to do his segment today, but I think that shows just how much of a trooper this guy is. But we're moving on to the segment of the show that is like ice skating and black flips on ice dancing at the Winter Olympics. Mike's hot take. Mike, can you take it away?
My hot take is going to be about racism in the NFL. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
I'm going to talk about racism in the NFL lately. Racism, there's a certain coach from the Miami Dolphins who got fired from doing a good job, but also bad. The way I'm aware of no black coaches in the NFL makes me sick. You know what I mean?
I mean, I completely agree, and like I'm so glad you chose this to do your hot take. Because we were gonna do it for our next segment anyway, but Michael, I'm so glad you chose this to do your hot take.
Because I think at the end of the day, 50 years, 75 years of the NFL, there should be a black coach all over the league. However, they could have black players, they didn't have black coaches, and black owners and black general managers. Let's go back from 1875 to 2021. Let's end racism.
No doubt.
Coach and Mike Tomlin, that's bullshit. They don't give a brother a chance in the NFL.
Exactly.
They only want the white man to be in the league.
Exactly. I feel like I'm definitely gonna have more thoughts on the Brian Flores lawsuit, like after Mike's hot take. But Michael, I'm so glad you brought that up. I feel like but to give kind of spoiler away, but I think this is a lawsuit that was necessary because to all the people listening up, I'm gonna start thinking, oh, there's no racism head coach problem in the NFL. There's no racism head coaching problem in the NFL. Michael, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take y'all to math class. I'm about to take everyone here. All people say that to math class in the honor of the late great, both our math teacher, Michael and I's math teacher, the late great Mr. Smas, God rest his soul. Do you guys know? Do you guys know the diversity population, like the percentage of African Americans that are currently living in this country?
Basically 85, 50, 80, 75%.
Like in the NFL, yeah, but I'm talking about in America in general.
Well, at least 95%.
The African American population currently right now in the US is 12.4%.
Okay.
It's currently right now 12.4%. So there are 32 head coaching jobs in the NFL. So, guys, what's 12.4% of 32?
0.
3.9. So let's round up to 4. So basically, like, even discounting the fact that like the league is majority black, even discounting the majority black, like to just meet the diversity of America in general, to meet the just average diversity of America in general, there should be like about 4 black head coaches. Like that should be like the NFL should have more of that, by the way. I'm not denying that, but I think 4 black coaches, that's a laughably low standard. That's a laughably low standard. You know how many black coaches there are? 1. There's 1. They can't even meet that. They can't even meet that quota. It just shows how big of the fact that the only black coach in the NFL is a guy who has had as much success as Mike Tomlin, while we see guys like Brian Flores and guys like I forget who was the guy in Houston that got let go.
The coach Tony for the Colts.
Yeah, no, the guy for the Texans,
Herman Edwards.
I forget.
It was Herman Edwards.
David Culley. they fired Derek early after 1 year. So when we see this over and over again, like African American head coaches, like not getting opportunities, and when they do get opportunities, it's usually like a shitty opportunity, and they let go after 1 or 2 years. Like they can say whatever they want about Brian Flores. Like apparently he didn't get along with Tua or something like that. Or that was like, and there was like apparently some issue. I mean, we're definitely gonna get into the Miami lawsuit, but it's like there's always something that a black head coach is let go early that we don't see nearly as often with white head coaches. So like there has to be something. There just has to be something wrong. The fact that we see is constantly when it comes to having the same conversation over and over again, there's definitely an issue. I'm sorry, Mike, for going on that long rant, but you can continue with your hot take.
That was it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow, I mean. Okay, so guys, this is an easy one. I'm approving this.
Approve.
Yeah, I approve too.
Unanimous approval. Okay, Michael. Your hot take record is now, I mean, I forget what. It's 63-8. Congratulations.
You want to also talk about Black History Month if you guys
yeah, definitely. It's also we said before we would do a segment for Black History Month. So for now, like during the month of February, like for Black History Month, after Mike's hot take, Michael's gonna do a short little segment about Black history in sports. So Michael, go ahead, take it away.
All right, number 42 for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Can anybody guess who I'm going with?
Jackie Robinson.
The greatest baseball player to ever set the big baseball. Here's the thing: the Negro League, I think, had better players than the MLB, in my opinion. My grandfather played for the Negro League, and my granduncle played for the Negro League baseball. Never got a chance to play baseball. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
He
played for the Kansas City Monarchs, right, Jackie?
Yeah. Sasko Page, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Alex, if you can guess me who holds a all-time home run record in any baseball league, I'll be impressed. And it's not Barry Bonds and it's not Babe Ruth. I'm telling you guys, or Hank Kern. I'm not saying. That's all I'm saying.
Billy Bonds?
Wrong. It's Josh Gibson, who had at least over 800 home runs in the Negro League. And didn't get a chance because he died early. And he was one of the greatest baseball players ever lived. And I'm sorry to say this, brother, but he's better than Derek Jeter. That's how much of a good player he was. So to all you viewers that say, oh, the Negro League isn't real baseball, then go fight them, go not watch our show, because the Negro League baseball was impressive. Really good ball players. Adam, in my discussion.
Michael, I remember I told you I was doing a project in college about baseball potentially losing to today's generation. I remember during that project I mentioned I was talking to someone and that you know how baseball kind of needs more bat flips theme or a kind of like that showboating style. The Negro Leagues were full of that. They were full of players, that exciting brand of baseball though, that exciting brand. So there's a lot of base stealing. There's a lot of showboating and stuff like that. A lot of things that really get the crowd into it. I definitely think Major League Baseball today needs more of that Negro Leagues flavor.
All right, boys, that's enough for me today. I'm gonna sorry viewers, the reason why I'm leaving a little early. My best friend is in town from Arizona, so I promise I'll spend the night with him. So guys, bon voyage.
But Michael, just so you know, we thank you for doing the show, and we thank you for joining us anyway. So,
right.
So thank you for joining us anyway, my friend.
UNC and Duke on the money line against UNC for Saturday.
That's your bet, Duke UNC on the money line for Saturday?
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Nope, that's it, my brother.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Cunningham.
Thank y'all, yo. Stay blessed. Stay woke.
Definitely. All right, so yeah, great hot take from our friend Michael Cunningham, and great hit segment on Black History Month as well. We're definitely gonna have a couple more of those as we roll on through December. But guys, like getting back, obviously, like we were gonna do like this for the first half of the show, but we had to we had to get our guest Benjamin Petruk on to talk Tom Brady. So we're definitely gonna get on there. Like Brian Flores is suing the NFL over like alleged like racial discrimination in hiring. Like, and we honestly I just ran an entire rant. There's definitely like an issue here, like with the fact that there's not only one black head coach, but the fact there's only two minority head coaches, guys. There's a serious problem. I mean, it's basically undeniable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's been going on. I think personally for a while, you don't really see a lot of black, head coaches, and it really was in all sports for a while. I mean, it's really became, a norm now where they're trying to, bring some more in, but it's really not common. It's never been common. And even like when you look like ownerships and stuff like that, to my knowledge, I don't think you really see too many, African Americans involved, in corporate stuff like that. I
don't think the NFL has a majority black owner yet. I don't think the NFL has a majority black owner yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think they have one yet.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I know they have one woman, like I know they have a woman like as an NFL owner, but I'm pretty sure they don't have a black one yet.
Yeah, and
I think Marcellus, I think that's a big issue here. Is that
it is?
Am I gonna necessarily say that all 32 of the NFL owners are racist? No, I'm not necessarily gonna say that, but I will say this, Marcellus. I will say this: we've seen over and over again that these owners, like when it comes to like head coach positions, they always hire people, and not just head coach positions, but just NFL in general. Like they hire people that they feel comfortable with. That's the thing. They always hire people that they feel that they feel comfortable with.
I agree. They definitely do that. But I think what makes the Flores thing even more interesting is I didn't know, and apparently, it's being denied. But I didn't know they were willing to pay him that much money just to lose games. Like that, I understand. Like you guys want to. I understand you guys want to, secure a lottery spot, but that's not the way to do it. You shouldn't be telling your head coach to purposely lose games,
Marcellus, let me tell you something here. So one of the things that Flores is alleged is that the Miami Dolphins owner, Stephen Ross, I believe, is that correct?
Yep.
Steve Ross allegedly paid him $100,000 just to lose games. That is what Brian Flores is alleging, and if that's true, guys, and Stephen Ross actually did that, try to try to pay Brian Flores to tank games. If that's true, that is my opinion. That might be approaching Donald Sterling level territory. The NFL might just have to remove him, because that is just that the fact. After he would do it with any head coach, it would be that. The fact that he's doing it with the fact that he thinks he could get away with doing it to a black coach, it's just. I mean, honestly, it would be bad if he did it to any coach, but it would be bad if he did it to any coach. But you get what I'm saying. The fact that if that's true, then boy, the NFL is gonna have like a big ink up their nose, because. That's the one thing that we don't. That's the one thing that's one of the few things that NFL does not want to. They want people to think that their games are legitimate. That both sides are competing. They're not intentionally trying to lose games. The last thing they need is a Black Sox scandal. So that is definitely something that is going to be very, very intriguing to watch with this Flores lawsuit. But also, I did want to bring this up, obviously, to you after to you, Mark. Marcellus,
Mhm.
there's currently there's only one black African American head coach. Is that correct?
My time,
Yeah,
right?
that's the only one. But
The only one right now.
last time I checked, there are currently 6 African American general managers. So I want to ask that why are teams so reluctant to hire a African American head coach, but you're not as reluctant to hire African American general managers? Like that I find fascinating.
Doesn't really, make sense to me. I feel like that's a topic that's going to be around forever, because until change is made, I don't really see it, increasing. But I do think that's something that I feel like has to become more of a norm. I mean, you don't really know what the end result can be until you get started with somewhere. So if you're not even trying to give these guys a chance, how you really gonna know what the outcome will be? I mean, look at Mike Tomlin, for example. Look at how long he's been there. You look at the success he's had with the Steelers. So
Definitely.
I don't see why there can't be more Mike Tomlins in the league, or at least you give him a chance. I mean, you don't have to necessarily bring a coach in. He has to go 18-0, 17-0. I know they add an extra game in there now. It's not 16 weeks anymore, but whatever it is, at 17-0, whatever it is, I don't think that that's the way to go about it.
The one thing we all can agree is there should be way more than one black coach in the NFL. There should be way more than that. I think we all can agree there. I mean, we can definitely all agree there. But
I agree.
one thing I definitely want to, because here's the thing. And here's a perfect example. Like Eric Bieniemy, he's been the Chiefs offensive coordinator now for how many years? Look at the success he's had with Patrick Mahomes. Look at the success he's had with Patrick Mahomes. You're telling me he's not deserving of getting head coach again? Remember, let's talk about my Giants. I mean, we're gonna be talking about them because they're also involved with this lawsuit, but we're definitely gonna mention that part later on in the show. But look at the hire for Brian Daboll. Again, I love the Brian Daboll hire. Offensive guy, developed Josh Allen, really great offensive guy, great leader, all those things. I love the Daboll hire, but at the same time, I won't bring this up. All the things I praised about Brian Daboll. What positive can I say about Brian Daboll that I can't say about Eric Bieniemy? Eric Bieniemy is our offensive guy, developed Patrick Mahomes, really helped develop Patrick Mahomes. What compliments can I give Brian Daboll that I can't give Eric Bieniemy? Now you can say, well, Josh Allen was more raw kind of and he needed more work. Patrick Mahomes was more talented. We could have that semantics debate for hours, but you get the point I'm trying to make is that if Brian Daboll deserves a coach job, which I believe he does, then Eric Bieniemy deserves one too.
I agree with you on that. I definitely think so too.
And that's one thing here is that this is Marcellus. I wanted to bring this up to you because this is gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna be make it make sense. This is gonna be one of those moments. The Bears' new general manager, who is he?
Off the top of my head, I forgot the name. Do you remember?
Ryan Poles. He was the former pro personnel director for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's African American. He's African American, so the Bears hired Ryan Poles, who's from the Kansas City Chiefs. So you figure, look at what the Giants did. Assistant general manager from the Buffalo Bills, he hires the Bills offensive coordinator. So you may be thinking Ryan Poles, Kansas City Chiefs guy, African American, Eric Bieniemy, Chiefs offensive coordinator, African American. This seems like the perfect opportunity for Eric Bieniemy to finally get a head coaching gig. You know what happened, Marcellus? The Bears didn't even interview Eric Bieniemy.
Really?
They didn't even interview him.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And this is I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much Ryan Poles had something to do with it. I mean, I have to investigate more, but it's just it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
I mean,
I agree.
I mean, Alex. I mean, I wanted to give you a chance to chime in here.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I think that the league has to be better with these types of issues, and I really hope that it gets better soon.
Definitely. Now let's move on to another part of Flores' lawsuit. Then that it's time for to talk about the elephant. That is Flores' lawsuit with the Giants, and what apparently sparked this whole thing is that apparently Brian Flores received text messages from Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick was attending text Brian Daboll congratulating him on getting like the Giants job. And this is before Brian Flores even interviewed, and Belichick texted Flores by mistake, apparently. And that's
but the Giants
so basically Flores is
Flores
is alleging that the Giants, because the Giants hired him to fulfill just the Rooney Rule, which we will mention the Rooney Rule later on like what we're discussing this, but apparently Flores is alleging the Giants only interviewed him to satisfy the Rooney Rule. And again, if that's true, like
allegedly, they're saying allegedly that it wasn't true with the Giants.
I have heard that, because again, if that's true, then shame on John Mara and shame on Chief Fisher, shame on the entire Giants organization. If that's the case, like the fact that he could be that tone deaf in 2022 is just like. But the one thing that there's a couple of loopholes like in Flores' Giant in Flores' also, and you can accuse me of being biased saying that because I'm a Giants fan, whatever. But apparently, like do you guys remember like when we were reporting like the Giants head coaching search? It was reported that apparently John Mara wanted Brian Flores. Like Brian Flores was John Mara's top guy, and that ultimately like he decided Joe Shane wanted Brian Daboll, and ultimately like John Mara decided to let Joe Shane hire his guy. So if that's true, then that completely like that completely contradicts what Brian Flores is alleging. Now those reports could turn out to be inaccurate. Now I once thought, those reports could turn out to be inaccurate, right? But I remember like Brian Flores' lawyers were actually on WFAN, and they confirmed that John Mara, as soon as Joe Judge was fired, 30 minutes. Here's the quote: 30 minutes after Joe Judge was fired, John Mara reached out to Flores and told him that he was his number one candidate. Mara reached out to Flores personally and told that he was his number one candidate. So there's definitely a bunch of stuff that's gonna be it's definitely gonna be very interesting to see how this lawsuit plays out. But if Flores is gonna try to prove that the Giants interviewed him or give him like a fraud interview just to satisfy the Rooney Rule, if that's what Flores is alleging, then he's gonna need more than just text from Bill Belichick to prove that. And this is coming from someone who like is supporting what Flores is doing.
I'm in favor of it too. I don't disagree. When the news first came out, automatically you think like, what's going on? It looked like everything was going like rock bottom. When I seen the text with Belichick, I was like, I can't believe that was even said. Like, why would you? It was one of those moments where why would you even say that? And then again, out of everybody that you hear from, you're supposed to hear that first from management. Why are you hearing that from Belichick?
Exactly, and that's another thing too. Like how did Belichick iron out? Like how much knowledge does Belichick know the situation? And Belichick himself tell Old Flores that he thinks they're going with Brian Daboll. So,
yeah.
and that's the thing. Like the Giants could have gone into that interview like thinking that, like,
Yeah.
having like David the back of mind as their top candidate, and they may have just interviewed Flores or saying, "Oh, let's see if Flores blows us away," and John Mara wanted them to interview his top candidate, so that could be what went down too. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with the Giants in that aspect of the lawsuit. But that's just my opinion on it for now. Again, I reserve the right to change my mind if we hear more evidence, but and more facts come out. But as right now, that's where I stand on Flores' lawsuit, at least from a Giants perspective.
No, I agree.
To me, Marcellus, at least, I remember I was texting my friends this. To me, at least, this lawsuit has less to do about the Giants and more to do with the NFL as a whole.
I believe, yeah, I agree with that too. Another thing is I don't understand how you get Flores mixed up with Durable. You know, like those are two different guys.
I mean, I don't like to bring up jokes during a time like this when we're talking about a serious issue like this, but Marcellus, do you think Bill Belichick is the type of guy that would intentionally set this up to get back to the Giants for beating them twice in the Super Bowl?
I don't think he. Do
you think Bill Belichick would be that kind of dude to do that? To get the Giants sued as a way of revenge?
Yeah, I don't think he would do that.
I don't think he would either. Because Bill Belichick does still have a positive relationship with the Giants because he was their defensive coordinator for the two Super Bowls. So he apparently he still has a really great working relationship with the Giants. So I definitely don't think that's the case. But it's just a fun scenario to throw out there.
I'm about to say as much history that they have, I don't think Belichick would do something like that. I don't think
definitely.
He's like that, yeah, I don't think he's like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I will say this about the Giants though, in terms of like racism and stuff. Like again, and just to be clear, disclaimer: I'm not at all accusing the Giants of being a racist organization. I'm not accusing John Mara of being racist. I'm not accusing Steve Ish of being racist. I'm not accusing Joe Shea of being racist. I'm not accusing Brian Dale of being racist. Disclaimer out of the way. There you go. But I remember like the Giants had like what 6 teams. I'm not sure how many teams have never had a black head coach, but the Giants are one of them. They've never had a black head coach. And 2, do you guys know how many times the Giants have had a black starting quarterback? How many games the Giants have had where a black quarterback started for them throughout their entire history?
Probably not that many.
1.
I'm about to say probably not that many.
The Giants have had only 1 game where a black quarterback started for them. And you know what that game was?
What was that game?
The game where the Giants benched Eli for Geno Smith. Remember that moment?
Yeah, I remember
how much of a dumpster fire that was. That was the one time where the Giants started a black African American quarterback.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now you could also say, the Giants hired an African American general manager, Jerry Reese, for so many years, and also the fact that Jerry Reese was the first African American general manager to win a Super Bowl. So you could you could throw that in there as well. I mean, it's just there's so much to discuss in this lawsuit. But I also wanted to bring up the Rooney Rule, guys. The Rooney Rule, I mean, it's a nice idea, but let's be honest, guys, it isn't working. I remember I saw a stat, apparently there's less, ever since the rule was in place, there's actually been less African American head coaches. The number of African American head coaches have actually gone down. I mean, that could be inaccurate, but that's why I saw. I mean, myself, I don't know if you disagree. Do you have any thoughts on the Rooney Rule?
No, I don't disagree with it at all. There's not really a factor that will make me. I mean, I agree with it.
I mean,
I don't know how you feel about it though.
I mean, I don't like to give any straw opinions to this because at the end of the day, I'm not an African American, so I don't have as much knowledge about systematic racism as you do, Marcellus, or as Michael does, or as other people do. So I do think like here's what I'll say. The fact that the NFL needs to even have a rule, I think is insulting. The fact that like the NFL like has to baby these owners to like incentivize them to interview African American coaches, like it's a slap in the face enough as it is, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. And then I would love to like get Mike. I would love to discuss this more with Michael, because I do want to get his thoughts on everything that we're discussing. Saying, but we gotta wrap up with the Flores also. There's one more lawsuit that obviously he's suing the NFL as well, but the one more team that Flores is suing that is mentioned also is the Denver Broncos, and he is alleging that back in 2019 that John Elway and the Broncos ownership showed up to an interview drunk. That's what Flores is alleging, and
oh really?
Again, if that, and apparently like John Elway gave his side of the story, and that apparently like John Elway responds saying that he was jet lagged, not hungover during the Flores interview, and that apparently, hold on for a second. Here it is. John Elway claims that he wasn't like hungover, he wasn't drunk, that he was jet lagged. Apparently, like he had just got off of a flight, and it was the only time that he could like interview he could do the interview with Flores. So that's his side of the story. That's his side of the story. But if like it's proved that John Elway like that John Elway has such a lack of respect like for Brian Flores that he just decided to do the interview drunk, like F it, like then yeah, that's not a good look for John Elway. That's absolutely not a good look for John Elway.
I didn't know too much about that, that story before you said it. I mean, really, I sort of agree with what you said. I mean, when you, it's really just it's crazy what's really going on right now in the NFL world.
It's so nuts.
This all just came out of nowhere.
It's so nuts. And I said
it's a mess.
There's two things. Number one, Marcellus, I'm not sure you can agree. Only the NFL could take the retirement of arguably the greatest player to ever play the game, it's Tom Brady. Only the NFL could take that big of a storyline and make it like second fiddle to this. Only the NFL could do this.
Yep.
That's number one. That's number one. And number two, another thing is that even despite all this, even despite like the Flores lawsuit and all the drama that we see in the NFL throughout the years, and all the times the NFL has like fat finger stuff and got things wrong, but like it has been a train wreck. Like, look at the ratings that the NFL does. Look at how well the NFL does. I remember I saw this stat. Do you want to know how many viewers the AFC Championship game averaged? This year's AFC Championship game. Do you want to know how many viewers the AFC Championship game averaged, guys?
How many?
50 million. So it just shows like
I didn't even know that.
It just shows how many people are into football. It just shows how the NFL can like get away with all this. It just because like the NFL has that big of an audience. It just has that big of an audience. Like the Super Bowl's coming up. The Super Bowl's gonna have like what 100 million people who will watch it. Yeah. I'm sure like at least half of those viewers don't even know about this lawsuit. I'm sure half the people going to the Super Bowl, like all the casual people are watching it, don't even know this is going on.
They probably don't.
Yeah.
Can you blame them? I mean, they probably don't even.
I'm sure Marcellus, like I'm sure Marcellus act. I'm sure we could all like go talk to like some random persons, a random friend, a random family member, and like ask them, hey, how many did you know how many black coaches there are in the NFL? How many of them would know that there's only one that coaching situation is going on?
Probably not a lot when you first
Like, only the people who seriously follow football, like myself, Alex, ourselves, only the serious people who follow the sport know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's because of like how much try. But it's not just football. Like, there's obviously there's like systematic racism going on like everywhere in the world, like especially this country. And we're not gonna, and unfortunately, we're not gonna like if we were to like do our discussion on that, we would be here till next Christmas probably. But again, these are discussions that I'm glad that we have, so we can definitely bring awareness to like issues like this, because the stuff needs to be talked about, guys. The stuff needs to be talked about.
I agree. I just really want to see what happens with it. Because I think it's really crazy. I mean, now that all these false allegations are coming out, now they're probably going to try and depict Flores as, fraud, and they're probably going to try and, diminish his image now. And
yeah, the NFL's definitely
it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because I'm not going to use race. I'm not going to use that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's crazy how this is the first African American, coach you really have besides, Tom. And this is really the one thing that's happening to him. Like, first of all, my what he did for Miami was great. They weren't even supposed to even be good like that. They won
Look at the way he
9
finished the
games in
season.
a row.
Look at the way he
finished the season. Their defense was top. They were like top? I don't know if it was top 10 or something, but the defense was up there. Like he changed the culture, and I don't feel like you should have just fired him because of that. He completely changed the culture.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely going to be something that's going to be issues. I definitely think the NFL is going to try to It's definitely not going to like let Flores win. It's not going to roll over and let Flores win, no matter how true his allegations may be. But we'll definitely see what happens, and we will definitely keep you guys updated on this. I mean, Alex, do you have any thoughts on the Flores situation?
My question is, what do you think is going to happen next with this situation? And do you think that they will send him to jail or something?
Flores?
Yeah.
Oh no,
they're not.
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
They're not going to send him to jail.
No one is going to jail in
this
this scenario. No one's going to jail in this scenario.
It's not. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. I mean, it's not. But guys, you ready to move on to our bets?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to say,
F
you to VCU.
Because VCU lost and ultimately caused Alex's parlay. So recapping last episode really quickly. Episode 70, like obviously Alex lost his parlay. Kansas State beat Oklahoma State. Illinois beat Wisconsin. And all he needed was a VCU win over Dayton, and Dayton, I believe, crushed VCU. Like, is that correct?
It was like 82-52.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. So, Alex, my friend, I am so sorry about that. I am so sorry. But, guys, for the third time in the past 4 episodes, only one of us won our bet. You guys want to guess who it is?
Who?
Nope.
Sam?
Nope.
Mike?
Nope.
You?
Marcellus?
Yep, Marcellus is the only one who won a bet. Marcellus had the Warriors over the Spurs on the money line and the Suns over the Nets on the spread. Suns covered the spread against the Nets and the Warriors beat the Spurs. So Marcellus, you win your bet. You add a impressive 23.49 points.
I needed that. I gotta get back in the standings, man.
Yeah, those points are definitely gonna help. But again, everyone else lost. Michael had the Warriors over the Spurs, Knicks over Grizzlies, and Cavaliers over the Rockets. Warriors beat the Spurs, but the Grizzlies beat the Knicks, so that wrecked his parlay. Knicks had the Grizzlies over the Knicks. X on money line. He won that bet, but he had Desmond Spain on the over as well, and Desmond Spain scored, I believe, just 12 points. So, what's the over under for Desmond Spain on that game anyway?
I forget.
I forget, but whatever it was, I'm 99% sure it was lower than whatever Desmond Spain scored. I'm sure it was more than 13 points. So. Sorry, Chris, you lost your bet. Sam had the Pelicans over the Pistons and Magic over Bulls. Pelicans beat the Pistons, but the Bulls beat the Magic, so we lost there. And I foolishly took the New Jersey Devils over the Maple Leafs, and Jack Hughes was the point. Same game, it was a point. Jack Hughes scored a point in that game, but guess what, guys? It was Jack Hughes scored a goal. It was the Devils' only goal that game. You want to know what the final score of that game was? The Devils lost to Maple Leafs 7-1. Devils lost to Maple Leafs 7-1, which, just so you know, guys, like, we got to do a hockey episode sometime soon because I got a rant. I got a rant about the Devils, man. I got a rant. They have been shit. Alex, I'm sure you would like to learn about the Flyers because just like my Devils, the Flyers have been shit. They've been shit. Did I say anything wrong there, Alex?
You did not. You said it right down the middle and correctly, and yeah, they are shit.
And my hockey team is shit. They're shit. Okay, but we gotta move on to the standings. Updating on the standings. Michael remains our ringleader. First place, 31-39 record, 382 points on the dot. I made second place, 30-40 record, 351.65 points. Sam remains in third place, 30-40 record, 333.28 points. Alex is in fourth place, 27-43 record, 330.49 points. Chris is in fifth place, 31-39 record, 328.04 points. Marcellus remains you remain last place. That's the bad news. 38-32 record. But the good news is you finally broke 300 points. I thought 309.42 points. You finally broke 300. All right, guys. We just got Michael Sway. He's taking Duke over UNC on the money line. Do we have Chris and Sam's bet yet?
Not yet.
All right, so I'm gonna go first. First here. I mean, we technically Michael already went first, but whatever. That's just semantics. I'm not similar to those lately. This team lately has been shit. But you know what? I'm feeling good about this one, guys. I'm feeling good. They've been on a 6-game losing streak, but I think that losing streak is about to come to an end. I think they're due. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the Brooklyn Nets over the Utah Jazz on the money line, and I'm going to do a Suing game parlay. I'm going to take Kyrie Irving. I'll play it safe. I'll go over 25 points. I'll say he'll score more than 25 points. And Kyrie Irving's been on fire lately, so I'm sure he'll be able to drop 20, 25. All right, Alex, you're next.
Okay. So I am doing a college basketball parlay. So my first one is Kansas upsetting Baylor. And my second one is Missouri State money line against Loyola Chicago.
Missouri State money line over Missouri State over Chicago money line. What was your first one again?
Yeah. Kansas money line.
Okay, who's Kansas playing?
Baylor.
Okay. I like it, Alex. I like it. All right, Marcellus, you're up.
I'm going to take. Dang, I might do another parlay here, and I think I'm about to take. Oh no, I'm really trying to look at this right now. I'm gonna take Nuggets spread. It's -5.5 against the Pelicans, and then I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take the Bulls money line over the Pacers.
Gotcha. All right. All right. We still don't have Chris's and Sam's bet yet, so we're gonna have to play a game where we go for Chris and Sam. Who wants to go? Do you want me to go for both?
I'll go for Chris.
All right, give him the Grizzlies and Kansas in a parlay. Go ahead, do it.
Okay, let me see. I am gonna go Charlotte Hornets money line against Cleveland. And my second one is, let's see, Sixers money line against Dallas.
All right, I'm gonna go for Sam here. Sam usually does crazy stuff, so I gotta think of something crazy. Let's see here. Are the Pelicans playing tomorrow? Friday. Yes, they are. They're playing the Denver Nuggets. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna make Sam go head to head with Marcellus here. I'm gonna have Sam take the Pelicans over the Nuggets, and I'll have him join forces with me. I'll have him take the Nets over the Jazz.
Nice. That's bold.
Okay. All right. Imagine if I hit on this parlay for Sam. All right, guys. That's all for bets. That's all for this episode. So man, we're only like a couple of episodes away before the Super Bowl. Only a couple episodes away.
Super Bowl is next week, right?
Yeah,
it's next week,
definitely.
Right?
Also, the NBA trade deadline is definitely coming. Is also coming up. So we're definitely gonna. It's definitely gonna be like as we start to end towards the end of our first season of doing this podcast. I mean, it's definitely gonna be very, very fun. But for now, guys, after I end this episode, I'm gonna go back to playing this beauty here. I mean, for those of you who can't see, I'm holding a screen of my copy of Pokemon Legends Arceus. I've been playing it lately, and it's a fantastic game. That's all I'm gonna say. I was almost, guys, just so you know, I was almost late to this podcast because I was playing it. That's how good it is. But guys, any final thoughts? Any final thoughts? We're not gonna have any edgy joke from Alex here.
This is for Chris. Let's go Jayhawks against Baylor this weekend.
Okay. This is for Michael. Let's go UNC. Oh man, I can't. Imagine if Michael actually heard me say that. I'd be dead. I'd be dead.
Yes, Adam, I can agree. Let's go UNC.
Fist bump. Boom. But anyway, guys, that's it. This has been episode 71 of the Getting Up podcast. Yours truly, Adam Grassani, Cunningham, Alex Reich, Marcellus Murdock, and our special guest, Benjamin Petruk. Like you heard, leave a like, and follow, or subscribe to the podcast. Also, if you want to join the conversation, drop a comment or a review. I may feature it in a future episode with my friends. Those who enjoy is just fancy. If you can imagine a world, believe in it, and dive in. See you next time, and until then, stay lit.